The wrath of Peleus' son, O Muse, resound, whose dire effects the Grecian army found, and many a hero, king, and hardy knight were sent in early youth to shades of night, their limbs a prey to dogs and vultures made. So was the sovereign will of Jove obeyed. From that ill-omened hour when strife begun betwixt Atrides great and Thetis godlike son, what power provoked, and for what cause, relate, sowed in their breasts the seeds of stern debate. Jove's and Latona's son his wrath expressed, in vengeance of his violated priest, against the king of men, who, swoln with pride, refused his presence, and his prayers denied. For this, the god a swift contagion spread amid the camp, where heaps on heaps lay dead. For venerable Chrysis came to buy, with gold and gifts of price, his daughter's liberty. Suppliant before the Grecian chiefs he stood, awful, and armed with ensigns of his god. Bare with his hoary head, one holy hand held forth his laurel crown, and one his sceptre of command. His suit was common, but above the rest, to both the brother princes thus addressed: Ye sons of Atreus, and ye Grecian powers, so may the gods who dwell in heavenly bowers succeed your siege, accord the vows you make, and give ye Troy's imperial town to take. So, by their happy conduct may you come with conquest back to your sweet native home, as you receive the ransom which I bring, respecting Jove and the far-shooting king, and break my daughter's bonds at my desire, and glad with her return her grieving sire. With shouts of loud acclaim, the Greeks decreed to take the gifts, to set the damsel free. The king of men alone with fury burned, and haughty these opprobrious words returned: Hence, holy dotard, and avoid my sight, ere evil intercepts thy tardy flight, nor dare to tread this interdicted strand, lest not that idle sceptre in thy hand, nor thy god's crown, my vowed revenge withstand. Hence on thy life, the captive maid is mine, whom not for price or prayers I will resign. Mine she shall be till the creeping age and time her bloom have withered and consumed her prime. Till then my royal bed she shall attend, and having first adorned it, late ascend. This for the night, by day the web and loom, and homely household tasks shall be her doom. Far from thy loved embrace and her sweet native home, he said. The helpless priest replied no more, but sped his steps along the hoarse resounding shore. Silently he fled, secure at length he stood, devoutly cursed his foes, and thus invoked his god. O source of sacred light, attend my prayer, God with a silver bow and golden hair, whom Chrysa, Scylla, Tenedos obeys, and whose broad eye their happy soil surveys. If, Smithis, I have poured before thy shrine the blood of oxen, goats, and ruddy wine, and larded thighs on loaded altar laid, here am my just revenge, propitious aid. Pierce the proud Greeks, and with thy shafts attest how much thy power is injured in thy priest. He prayed, and Phoebus, hearing, urged his plight, with fury kindled from Olympus' height. His quiver his ample shoulders threw, his bow twanged, and his arrows rattled as they flew. Black as stormy night he ranged around the tents and compassed the devoted ground. Then with full force his deadly bow he bent, and feathered fates among the mules and sumpters sent. their essay of rage on faithful dogs the next, and last, in human hearts his arrows fixed. The god 9 days the Greeks at Rovers killed, 9 days the camp with funeral fires was filled. The 10th Achilles, by the queen's command, who bears heaven's awful sceptre in her hand, a council summoned, for the goddess grieved her favoured host should perish unrelieved. The kings assembled, soon their chief enclosed, then from his seat the goddess born arose, and thus undaunted spoke. What now remains but that once more we tempt the watery plains, and, wandering homeward, seek our safety hence, in flight at least if we can find defence. Such woes at once encompass us about, the plague within the camp, the sword without. Consult, O king, the prophets of the event, and whence these ills, and what the god's intent. Let them by dreams explore, for dreams from Jove are sent. What want of offered victims, what offence in fact committed, could the sun incense to deal his deadly shafts? What may remove his settled hate and reconcile his love, that he may look propitious on our toils, and hungry graves no more be glutted with our spoils? Thus to the king of men the hero spoke. Then Calchas the desired occasion took, Calchas the sacred seer, who had in view things present and the past, and things to come foreknew, supreme of augurs, who, by Phoebus taught, the Grecian powers to Troy's destruction brought, skilled in the secret causes of their woes, and reverend in the graceful act arose, and thus bespoke Pelides. Care of Jove, favoured of all the immortal powers above, wouldst thou the seeds deep sown of mischief know, and why provoked Apollo bends his bow? Plight first thy faith inviolably true, to save me from those ills that may ensue, for I shall tell ungrateful truths to those whose boundless powers of life and death dispose, and sovereigns, ever jealous of their state, forgive not those whom once they mark for hate, even though the offence they seemingly digest. Revenge, like embers raked within their breasts, bursts forth in flames, whose unresisted power will seize the unwary wretch, and soon devour. Such and no less is he, on whom depends the sum of things, and whom my tongue of force offends. Secure me then from his foreseen intent, that what his wrath may doom, thy valour may prevent. To this the stern Achilles made reply. Be bold, and on my plighted faith rely, to speak what Phoebus has inspired thy soul, for common good, and speak without control. His godhead I invoke, by him I swear, that while my nostrils draw this vital air, none shall presume to violate those bands, or touch thy person with unhallowed hands, even not the king of men that all commands. At this, resuming heart, the prophet said, Nor hecatombs unslain, nor vows unpaid on Greeks' account a curse this dire contagion brings, or call for vengeance from the Boyar king, but he the tyrant, whom none dares resist, affronts the godhead in his injured priest. He keeps the damsel captive in his chain, and presents are refused, and his prayers preferred in vain. For this the avenging power employs his darts, and empties all his quiver in our hearts. Thus will persist, relentless in his ire, till the fair slave be rendered to her sire, with ransom free restored to his abode, with sacrifice to reconcile the god. Then he, perhaps, atoned by prayer, may cease his vengeance justly vowed, and give the peace. Thus having said, he sate. Thus answered then, upstarting from his throne, the king of men, his breast with fury filled, his eyes with fire, which, rolling round, he shot in sparkles on the sire.